Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Manzoor Ahmed, lecturer history. Today we are going to start unit number 11 of our syllabus in 12th class history subject. And the name of the unit is Rebels and the Raj, a revolt of 1857. Dear students, before trying to know about various topics of this unit, let's try to have an introduction of this unit. Dear students, England, which is also known as Britain, is a very important country in the continent of Europe. We know that with the beginning of modern age in Europe, from 15th century onwards, people from different European countries began to go across oceans and occupy different lands in different parts of the world for the purpose of carrying out various economic activities there. Among the European countries, the country which occupied maximum territories outside Europe, in the outside world, for the purpose of various economic activities, and that country was England. It was this England which ruled over India for a period of about 200 years, from 1757 to 1947. However, we need to understand that the rule of England over India did not start all of a sudden. It took a lot of time to England to set its foot in India and then lay the foundation of a strong rule. Dear students, without going into further details, we understand that a group of merchants and traders in England sought the permission of Queen Elizabeth of England to do trade with India. And this group of merchants and traders was given permission to trade in India by Queen Elizabeth. Ultimately, this group of merchants and traders, which was given permission by Queen Elizabeth to do trade with India, came to be known as British East India Company. This British East India Company came into existence in 1600 AD. While reaching India, this company first of all began to establish its factories in different parts of India. By factory we mean a place where British merchants and traders lived and assembled together and stored there or kept there goods and products for sale and purchase. And the first factory which the British East India Company established in India for the purpose of conducting trade was the factory at Masulipatam, which is in modern Andhra Pradesh. And this factory was established in 1611. With the passage of time in 1613, this British East India Company was successful in establishing a factory at Surat in Gujarat. And we understand that up to 1623, this British East India Company had got success in establishing its factories at Surat, Bharuch, Ahmedabad, Agra, Masulipatam, and other such areas. We also need to understand that in southern India, the British East India Company got permission from local Raja of Madras in 1639 to build a port in Madras, build a factory in Madras, establish a factory in Madras, and build a fort around the factory, and that fort came to be known as Fort St. George. It was also in 1668 that the British East India Company got control over the island of Bombay from French in India. When we talk of Eastern India, the English East India Company opened its first factory in Odisha in 1633. In 1651, the governor of Bengal, Shah Shuja, gave permission to the company to establish its factory at Hooghly in Bengal. Very soon, the company opened factories at Patna in Bihar, Balasore in Orissa, Dhaka in Bengal, and other parts of Bengal. So, from this, we need to understand that with the passage of time, the British East India Company had established a network of factories over vast areas of India. And initially, the prime purpose of establishing factories in different parts of India was to do trade with the different parts of India, was to carry out trading activities with the help of these factories, where the British merchants and traders used to assemble, live together for nights, store their goods, keep their goods, and ultimately do trade in these goods. So the prime purpose initially was of establishing factory was to conduct trade. But with the passage of time, the merchants of the British East India Company began to turn greedy. They began to think that if they were successful in establishing a network of factories in different parts of India, they could be successful in occupying different parts of India as well. They could be successful in becoming the rulers of India as well. So, with the passage of time, from the mere traders, the idea of becoming the rulers began to develop in the minds of the British East India Company and the minds of the merchants of British East India Company. And while moving forward in this direction, we understand that in 1691, the British East India Company, got the right to do tax-free trade in the areas of Bengal, as the governor of Bengal gave them this right in lieu of some cash payment which the company gave to this governor of Bengal. Also, we need to understand in 1698, the East India Company acquired the zamindari, got the zamindari. Zamindari means revenue rights, right to collect revenues of 3 villages in Bengal, 3 marshy villages in Bengal, namely Sutanti, Kalikata, and Govindpur. And it was here around these 3 villages that this Fort Williams was built here by English in 1700, and it were these 3 villages which ultimately grew in the form of the city of Calcutta. And we also understand that in 1717, the Mughal Emperor Farrukhsar gave or granted dastaks, means tax-free passes, to do trade free of tax in any part of India. So we need to understand, slowly and steadily, the merchants of the British East India Company began to set their foot firmly in India. Initially, they established factories, then they began to develop ports, then they began to acquire lands and zamindaris, then they began to acquire various areas and establish towns like Calcutta over there, and then they began to get the concessions from Indian rulers for doing tax-free trade in different parts of India. So slowly and steadily, the power and prestige of the British East India Company in India went on increasing, especially after the death of great Mughal ruler Aurangzeb in 1707. Because till Aurangzeb, the merchants of the British East India Company were not able to do anything against the wishes of the Mughal rulers, wishes of Aurangzeb. But after Aurangzeb, there are rulers who were just rulers in name. They are puppets in the hands of their nobles and ministers. Therefore, British East India Company also got a chance to fulfill its dream of laying the foundation of a British Empire in India. And we understand, after making all preparations, the British East India Company fought successful battle rather, in India in 1757 by defeating Siraj-ud-Dowlah in the Battle of Palasi. And it was in this Battle of Plassey that British East India Company laid the foundation of British rule over India. And this rule continued up to 1947 when India got freedom from England, from Britain. And we understand that during this period of about 200 years, during which from 1757 to 1947, the British East India Company occupied a huge number of areas in India and controlled these areas. And the primary purpose of controlling and ruling over India of British East India Company and England was to sack India's wealth, was to drain India's wealth and take all India's wealth to England. And as a result, the British East India Company exploited Indians by all means. Exploited Indian peasants, Indian zamindars, in all class of Indian society got affected, got exploited at the hands of the British East India Company. Ultimately, when this exploitation of British East India Company crossed all limits, the Indians revolted. So, the rule of British East India Company, which started over India from 1757, this came to be known as the Raj, which is the name of this unit, the Raj and the rebels. And when people got antagonized, when people got very much angry, when people saw all sorts of exploitation at the hands of the British East India Company, they revolted against the company. And those people who revolted against the company came to be known as rebels. That's what we have talked about this unit in the very first point, that is the rebels and the Raj. Rebels were those who revolted against the rule of the British India Company. That's what we call Raj. That is what we call Raj. And the revolt which took place, the revolt was the revolt of 1857. So in this unit, we have to talk about the Raj, means the rule of British East India Company over India. The rebels means the people who revolted against British East India Company, they were rebels. And where they revolted? They revolted in the revolt of 1857. Now in this unit, we have to talk about the British rule over India, British Raj over India, a reaction of the Indians to this rule, that is the revolt of 1857, the cause of this revolt, the consequence of this revolt, the results of this revolt, the importance of this revolt, and various aspects of the British rule in India we have to talk about in this unit.